Donnie Houston.
Yo, Cassidy, what's good, man?
Boy, what's up with you?
Chilling, man. How you feeling, big dog?
Can't complain, man. Straight like 6 o'clock, maintaining.
Yeah, for sure. Man, I'm sitting up here. I'm playing this Lean on Me record, man. I'm fucking with that, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Lean
Yeah.
on. That was already a classic, and we brought it back for 2020, man. To refresh these dudes' memories, man. That we all got to stick together, come together, give each other something to lean on. And I'm feeling good today. I'm just coming back from my chiropractor. He got me in line and all that, so I'm feeling a little better. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
good
for
too.
sure, for sure. So, man, what else is new with you, man? What else going on, man?
Working hard, man. Working, man. Constantly making music. You know what I mean? Constantly working, trying to get to it.
Yeah. Man, I'm out here in Houston, man. I want to talk. We're gonna talk about the professional career. We're gonna talk the battle rap and all that. But man, I've never been to Philly, and it's always been one of the dopest cities to me as far as like really having spitters. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know historically for having dope DJs and just a real dope city. Can you tell me about like like the battle scene and just that Philly underground scene and how it is? You know what I mean? How it is now and how it was when you were coming up through that?
Um, Philly is a hard city to come up out of because there's a lot of spitters, a lot
Yeah.
of that go hard, a lot of dope MCs. And we close to the Mecca like New York where it started. So it's a lot of lyrical dudes in Philly. But we also a little more down south. So we got a little bit of different accent, different flow play to bring to the table. So it's like a good location. And it's like a grimy location. So people be having a lot to talk about. Like if you came up in Philly, you know what I mean, you probably went through a whole lot. So you got more of a story to tell. So that's what probably make it a good place to come from. But it's
Yeah.
a lot of spots like that all through the country. You know what I mean? Or all through the world, really. But, all through the country, it's hood places where niggas go through shit, got a story to tell. You know what I mean? And now, um, like when I was coming up, hip hop was just getting past the level of thinking it was a fad. Like it was started to make crazy money. They knew it was like big business around the time I came in. But now it's like the biggest form of music, period. So
Right.
it then took over the world. So now
Right.
people is interested in hip hop now. So it don't gotta stay too zoned out. Like, you know what I mean, this area, East Coast, West Coast, this it's just about, you know what I mean, who could put them bars together and who could really rap.
Yeah.
And since the game been around for so long, people from the South grew up listening to people from the East Coast. People from the East Coast grew up to listening to people from down South. People from the West Coast grew up to listening to people from down South and the East Coast. It's like people listening to everybody from everywhere. And now one of the biggest like mainstream artists is Drake, and he from Canada, and everybody listening to him. So it ain't really about where you from, you know what I'm saying? It's just how talented you is and how dedicated you is to putting in this work.
Yeah. Man, it kind of seems, and I mean, I could be wrong, but it kind of seems like battle rap is y'all thing. You know what I'm saying? Like in Houston in the '90s and shit. Like if you wanted to get on, you kind of had to go through like DJ Screw or like Michael Watts and that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like different types of rites of passage. But was battle rap, is that y'all's thing like that? Like shit, if you battling, then this is how you pretty much get known or get any kind of recognition in the city and shit.
Nah, it's pretty much like any other city. Just had a lot of dudes rhyming, making songs. But back when I was coming up, I know that's what I used to do. I used to battle all of the time. And I mean, I started off as a teenager when I was like 15 on a radio competition. It was called The Cycle in Philly. It was on the Radio 1 station. And I started winning that for months at a time. I started winning so much that they made me a radio personality to judge other people's battles. So that's how I got known in the city for battling. But it was a radio show, and back then there wasn't no social media, so all people knew was my name and my voice. They didn't know my face and how I looked. So I wanted to connect the dots, put the name that everybody knew from the radio with my face. So that's when I started going all around the city, battling all of the time. At Broad Colony, a big location is like a bus depot where a lot of kids come after school. And my high school was like a couple blocks up the street from it. So I used to go there after school every day and battle a bunch of people that came up there. And the majority of the people that you know that came out of Philly passed through Broughton Island at one point and then see me getting busy out there. It's like a legendary area, and everybody know how I was holding it down out there, connecting the face with the name. And not too long after that is when I got the deal. My first record deal was when I was with Rough Riders. So that's when I left Philadelphia, started living out in Yonkers, started, you know what I mean, living.
Yeah. Wait. So how do you even get on the Rough Rider radar? Is this through you battling and tearing it up and them just being in tune with that, or like how you even link up with with that situation?
You said it right. Off battling and off that radio show, it made me the hottest thing in the city. So anytime anybody would come to Philly and ask for artists or ask who's hot or who's doing something right now, everybody would bring my name up. So that's how I was getting opportunities and meeting people. It's not like I was going looking for deals or giving out my demo or like, you know what I'm saying, going up to record labels to have meetings. Like, only time I would go up to record labels to have meetings is if they called me up to come up there to have a meeting. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it went. I just became the hottest thing in the city. So anytime anybody passed through the city, they would hear my name. And one of my first managers, TD the Negotiator, that's Swizz Beatz' father, and his brothers, D and Y, is the CEOs of Rough Riders. So I met him in Philly in a barbershop, started rhyming for him, going crazy, impressed him. He took my information, and then he called me out in New York to meet his brothers. The first brother I met, he was in Miami or something, so I met Y. We had to meet around for Y. But I took two dudes with me that I was cool with at the time. And we was like, we wasn't a group. I was a solo artist, but we used to hang around each other. We knew each other raps. We was like a team. So I took them out there with me. And I told them outside the meeting that they don't know we not a group. So y'all back me up. I'm going to back y'all up like we a group. And we take it from there. So we went in there and we rhymed like we was a group and they loved us. So after the meeting is when we came up with the name Larceny Family. We formed a group. And we started working with Rough Riders as a 3-man group, me, Shiz, and Akbar. So that's how I got my first deal. I was 17 years old when I signed the Rough Riders.
Damn. So I mean, but when you go to Rough Riders though, man, I mean, this is like heyday Rough Riders, bro. Like X is hot, you know what I mean? Like Eve is kind of just getting over there, you know what I mean? Talk about just that whole experience and like coming from the street and then jumping into that system.
Well, once I signed a deal, I already knew a little bit of the business, but I started to learn more after I signed the deal. So the average person that don't understand the business think when you sign a record deal, it's time to celebrate and party.
Yeah.
I understood the business and I knew we had a lot of work to do. And plus we was in an environment that was already crowded with talented artists already. So it wasn't just a walk in the park. So I knew you had to really work now. Like if you thought you was working already to get the deal, now you got to really start working. So it was a blessing and I was happy. But at the same time, I knew I had a lot of work to do. So I wasn't celebrating. I was really locking in. So I got in even more battle mode after I signed and started battling not just in Philly, but all around the country. Everywhere it would take me. And I was just battling constantly. I was just locked in consistently. And I felt like if battling, having that mentality is what got me out the city to get a deal. And if I take this mentality across the whole country to everybody, then I'm going to just be the best in the world. And I just stuck to that game plan ever since. That's why I be calling myself the GOAT, because I know as far as the science go, nobody could fuck with me. Like,
yeah, I mean, you one of the ones, man. Like when you talk about battle rap, you gotta, especially as we know it now, you gotta start with Cassidy. You know what I'm saying? Like you talking about moving around and battling. Is this when you battle Freeway within that time? Because that was like 0102 up in there somewhere up in that time.
Yeah, I battled Freeway after I got a record deal. I got a record deal with Sony BMG, G Records, Clive Davis, Charles Goldstuck. I got a record deal with them. And
wait, that was after Rough Riders? The battle I'm talking about that's on YouTube, the legendary
Yeah, for sure.
No shit.
I was signed to Rough Riders in a 3-man group, me, Shiz, and Akbar, Larceny Family. But that's how I got a relationship with Swizz. And then me and Swizz got locked up with each other, and we started a different production company, Full Surface Records. So
This is while this is going on, while Rough Riders is going on, y'all got this going.
yeah, I got out of the contract with Rough Riders and got in a new production company contract deal with Full Surface. Now this just me and Swizz. And then I went and got a artist deal distribution through Sony BMG G Records.
Okay.
But I got it as a solo artist, not in a 3-man group. So I was signed to Rough Riders in a 3-man group, but then I signed a Swizz Beatz production company as a solo artist, and then went and got the artist deal with G Records.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, man, talk about because I mean you signed a J.
Said the battle with
battle with Freeway, yeah.
After I signed with G Records and I got my budgets opened up and I started working on my first album, Split Personality. So it was around the time when I was like first starting to work with Swizz to get the buzz up and to get the production company running. So we was already up and running. We already had budget opened up, but we didn't drop no real music through the production company yet. So around that time when we was working, we was in the studio. It was a Mary J. Blige session. Swizz did the beat, and then Jay-Z came through, and that's how the whole battle got set up with me and Freeway.
Okay, talk about that whole thing then. How does Jay-Z come in and the whole, with the setup? Was he like, this is my new guy, and Swizz is like, nah, this is my new guy, you know what I mean? And y'all went at it, or how did that even come about?
Yeah, well, I was in the studio with Swizz, and I got hungry, so I went to got the driver to take me to go get something to eat. And while I was getting something to eat, I heard them on the radio, Rockefeller. They was on the radio, and they was freestyling and all that. And Jay-Z was saying that he got the best niggas in the world, and they willing to battle anybody and all that. So they wasn't talking to me, but I'm just so hungry at the time. I just feel like they is.
Yeah. Did you know Freeway? And I'm assuming so, because you said everybody who came out kind of came through that scene. You knew Freeway before all of this through being in the city and shit?
Well, I'm from Philly, so I knew Freeway music. I ain't know him personally.
Okay.
Some other members of State Property, but I ain't meet Free until the battle.
Gotcha.
So when I heard him on the radio, I came back into the studio and I told Swizz about it. And he told me, like, it's cool because Jay-Z coming to the studio anyway. Jay-Z was rapping on the Mary J. Blige song that Swizz produced. So they was coming to update the song. So he wasn't coming to the studio for the battle. He was coming for something else. But when he got there, I was there. And when Swizz introduced me, he introduced me as, yeah, I mean, that nigga, like, the hottest nigga out.
Yeah.
Jay-Z, like, what? You ain't just hear my niggas on the radio? Like, nigga, I got the hottest niggas. You don't even look big enough for Beanie. You don't even look old enough for Free. Like, he started talking this shit. But this was when I first got into business. Like, I was a fan of Jay-Z, but I was more of a fan of myself. So when he started talking crazy about his homies, I'm like, what? Nigga, I don't give a fuck who you bring in here. I destroy any of them niggas. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He picked up the phone. He called niggas. Swizz picked up the phone. He start calling niggas. Next thing you know, because Rough Riders was in the studio down the street. So niggas started filling up the studio, started coming with the cameras, and that's how we got the whole shit. That's how it went down.
Yeah.
When Beans, it was Beans, Free, Chris from the Young Guns, Oskino, like they all came to the studio. But when they got there, Jay-Z, like, now who you said you wanted to battle? And I said, nigga, I told you I killed any of them niggas. I don't give a fuck who it is.
Yeah.
And start calling out Free. So they picked Free, and that's how it went down. It wasn't like it was set up or arranged. It was on some on the spot shit.
Yeah. So I mean that's one of the first battles I remember seeing, man. Like, is that usually how the battle scene used to be? Like, kind of, it wasn't a whole lot of people, but it was just a nice little crowd. You know what I mean? Nothing too fancy. You know what I'm saying? Was that kind of how they were in Philly and shit?
It just depends on the situation, but majority of the time it was like that. Like, one group got an artist, and one artist and his team, and they say, oh, is another artist in his team get called together, and they went down like that. But it wasn't really like these, like set up like how battle rap is now.
Right.
You knew who you was going to battle at the time. You got time to prepare, fight for the artist, and sell tickets or call out a crowd. It wasn't really like that.
Yeah, yeah. Now,
The closest thing to that was that radio show that I was on, because you knew the time that the radio show was coming on, and I was on there every day. So you knew I was going to battle every day, and people had time to prepare raps for me. But I ain't know the new artist that was coming on for that day, so I couldn't prepare raps for them. So, but that was like the closest thing to what's going on now.
yeah, yeah. Now I'm gonna come back to that, but man, back to with the album, man, you come out with that smash, dog, with R. Kelly in his prime. You know what I mean? Prime R. Kelly at the time. You know what I mean? The Hotel record smash. Like, how is that? How was that adjusting from that? How much of an adjustment was it from being like this super underground guy to now I'm really, you know what I mean? Like, I got a hot record. I'm really that guy in the mainstream too right now.
Yeah, I knew I could make records. It was easy. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew I was the dopest at rhyming. So
Yeah.
I got in the studio to start making records. I knew it wasn't going to be that hard for me. I had some learning to do, but my work ethic is so crazy that I knew it wasn't going to take a long period of time for me to learn. So by the time I made the transition from being signed to Rough Riders to being a solo artist with Swizz Beatz, in that period of time, I already learned how to make music, like to a crazy level. So I
Because
knew
you working with Swizz, right? At this whole time, you and Swizz kind of doing y'all thing out to the side.
I knew I could make hit records, and I had a big machine behind me, like records. That was like Clive Davis. It was a big person behind me. So any single we would have put out would have really won regardless. But you got me, you got Swizz Beatz producing, you got R. Kelly on the song. It's like, and then you got J Records pushing it. So I knew it was gonna be a hit. I wasn't really shocked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And my main focus of being in the business wasn't to get hits or get like instant gratification or like to win awards, or that wasn't the reason why I wanted to rap. I made the decision that I was going to be a rapper in the fourth grade. And the reason why I wanted to rap is to become the best at doing it and impress the most amount of people with the words that I write down. So even though I had hit records, that wasn't my focus. And it was like more of a top 40 type of record. So it wasn't proven to the world that I was the dopest lyrically. So that was
It's
my
a good song.
so other people might have been happy just to get a hotel hit. Like I got a hit, but I was expecting to get hits. Just like I still expect to keep continuing to write hits. Like I could write hits every day. There's
Yeah.
nothing for me. So, and a lot of people don't understand the business. People think that a hit is a person make a song and the most amount of people in the world just like it. That's how hits work. But that's not how the game go. Like the biggest songs is the ones that got the most money invested into them. Like, you know what I'm saying? So the biggest artists is the ones that got the most money invested into them. But a hit is not just like, it's not a fair chance. It's not like all of the people that's making music get a fair shot and then the world just get to pick what's the best record. That's not how. So I was learning the business while those things was happening and while those things was coming out, and I was in the situation. I was in a contract. I had a production company deal, and I had an artist deal. So I had a lot of people involved in the situation too. So I was trying to learn the business, and I was more concerned on my main goal being the best and how I could get to that point at that time when I dropped Hotel.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like you said, I mean, Hotel, it was, it's just a great record. But then you come back with, I would say, would you say I'm a Hustler is more truer to what you were kind of trying to make, like sonically and just with the bars in there, and you know what I'm saying, that whole thing? Was that more so along the lines of the type of artist, type of music you were trying to make as an artist?
Nah, Hotel.
No, not Hotel. I'm talking about I'm a Hustler. I'm a Hustler.
Nah, but Hotel is a form of music that I would make because
Yeah.
at the time that's the bag I was in. So I wasn't fronting or nothing like that, but it just wasn't like the record that I would have came out from the rip with. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was a record for the ladies. It wasn't a record that I would have just came out from the beginning with, my first single for the world to know me. Because they would thought I was like, we could go get it cracking like a ladies man rapper. They wouldn't know that I was, you know what I'm saying, like getting crazy.
Really a spitter. Yeah.
So that's the only thing. But that's the reason why I was pressing for me to come out with a record more like I'm a hustler the second time around. That's why I named the whole album I'm a Hustler. That's why I was more harder records, and you know what I mean, for me to be able to show the world that I ain't just no bubblegum top 40 rapper. Like, yeah, I could do those type of songs, but I also get busy. And that's why I called the first album Split Personality, to let people know I got a split personality. 1 minute I might be like, we could go get it cracking, but you know what that happened. I might be talking to the ladies, but then you might hear me again and I'll be like spraying when I see him, AKing when I see him. How about the Bronco and OJing when I see him? Like, I'm a do all of that. Like, I got a split personality. So that's what I was trying to let the fans know from the rip.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have a favorite album out of your mainstream rap?
Nah, man. I don't got a favorite album. That's like asking me, do I got a favorite son? Hey, man, they all mean something to me. And I was all in a different place when I did them all. So, they all mean something different to me, and I love them all for different reasons.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, you've kind of been more so, in the last, I don't know, 10 or so years, maybe more so kind of back into the battle rap thing and all that. Was it a conscious decision to kind of exit out of the industry kind of and go more so into what you're doing now? Or was it just like shit, just, one thing led to another? And
Nah, I've been independent for like over the last 15 years.
Did you do something with Mello? When you signed to Mello or something? You did something with Mello? Carmelo?
When I put out the album Cash, it was through E1 distribution. I did a partnership with Mello because I was independent at that time. I was free from J Records and Full Surface. So I was just completely independent. So I wanted to do more projects and I wanted to move like how I was used to moving. So I wanted investors, but I just ain't want to reach out to the same investors that I was used to reaching out to. So I started putting my plan together. I put it together and I presented it to Mello. We was communicating at the time and I presented it to him and he loved it. It made sense. So he started to invest into my independent grind to get me started. He had a production company too called Crossover Entertainment. And I let him put that on the album because he was an investor and we had a partnership. But I wasn't signed to Crossover Entertainment. That album came out under my production company, Larceny Family Entertainment.
Gotcha. So with the Full Surface thing, you were saying you and Swizz started that. Were y'all like CEOs with that, or like how was that the Full Surface situation?
Nah, Swizz was a producer at Rough Riders, and then he wanted to start his own production company.
Right.
He was the CEO of Full Surface, but I was his only artist. Like, I was the artist, like, you know what I'm saying? And he knew when he started the production company, he needed an artist. So before he even started the production company, I signed off with Swizz. So we already came to an agreement that we was going to get together before he even came up with the name for it. So that's why I say we started it together, not like we was co-CEOs or something.
Gotcha.
I was the artist at the time. I was signed to his production company. I was his artist at the time. But I was the only artist, the only thing that was representing bars, and he was representing the production, and we came together to make the history that we made. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. So talk about, man, because I mean, like we said earlier, I made it a point to ask about how the battle rap scene was before. But you come back to battle rap and it's grown into this whole like full-on production, you know what I mean? Like it's still kind of
I never left battle rap. Just after the Freeway battle and some of the other battles that I did around that time, I felt like I put in so much work and I made it to a certain level that I don't need the battle no more. I only was battling my name known so that I could get lit. But now that I'm already lit, able to put out music, I don't need the battle no more. Especially just any and everybody like how I used to. I told you I was going around the country battling any and everybody. Well, who rap? Anybody could. But it's like I elevated past that level. So now I'm only battling people that got a certain amount of money or a certain amount of fans. And I'm going to give it to people who on beat. Like, and I'm not coming back to battle rap unless they pay me a certain amount of money. So I made that statement before any battle league started. And I told them I wasn't coming back to battle rap until I got $250,000. And they thought it was like, people couldn't even believe that. Nobody wasn't even making $1,000 off battle. So for me to say I won $250,000, they thought it was impossible at the time. But I knew how much potential battle rap had. I think it was going to grow once people started focusing up and carrying it the right way. And I already carried it far enough. I'm not going to just do everything. So, like, when y'all get enough money, then I'll come back. And they wasn't able to get enough money up until the disaster battle when I came back to battle rap. So I never left. I just was waiting for them to get the right bag up.
Yeah. So when you did disaster, was that your first battle in this new, like, as we kind of know it today, set up with the battle, the cameraman and the crowds and all that type of thing? That was your first one like that?
Yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah. And how was that experience, man? Because you came in, of course, the bar's still there. You know what I mean? You as a MC doesn't change, but the situation changes, and that kind of, I feel like, the crowds and sometimes those things kind of play a factor into, the end result in the battle. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of stepped into not a new arena, but an updated arena. You know what I'm saying? How was that?
Nah, that shit ain't new. All this shit them dudes be saying and running with is stuff that I made years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
So new. And when I be saying it, this shit be like really shit that I done went through and shit that niggas around me that I really know and could call right now. And like those niggas just became fans of hearing me do that and just try to do the same thing. But the majority of them, I don't even believe in battle rap. So when I went back, it was like a game. They had enough money for me. So I'm like, all right, I'll come back. Y'all pick whoever y'all want to pick. And when they picked Disaster, out of everybody that y'all could pick in the world, they decided to pick Disaster. So it's like, what are y'all doing? Like, I'm the GOAT. Like, not just in battle rap, period. Like, all this work I put in, how many times I done shifted the culture, all these legends and GOATs I done been writing for and been doing, all this shit I've been doing. And they gonna put me against Disaster. So I felt like I ain't even take that shit serious anyway. Like,
yeah.
Put me against, like, if you put me against a battle rapper, I'm not gonna take it serious because they ain't even accomplished 1% of the shit I accomplished. And all they do is write them 3 rounds for battle rap. It's like, I'm not impressed by that shit. They don't even do enough to match up to the shit that I did when I was a teenager. Like, so I don't get there and feel like I got something to prove. Like, I got to spit my best shit against a nigga that only battle rap. Why would I do that? Like, I never do that. I'm just going to get out there just to show niggas that I'm way better than the nigga that I'm battling.
Yeah. Tell me this with the battles, man. How much of it is, like, stuff that you prepared for, you know what I'm saying, lines you had, and how much of it is just like, all right, I'm right here on the spot now. You just said this, I'm coming back with this off the dome, like right there.
It just depends on the situation.
Yeah.
But nowadays, what these dudes do, all this shit.
They shit seems like it's written. It seems like it's already.
What these dudes do is all prepared. These dudes be getting months and months and months of preparation. That's why I'm not impressed with battle rap. It's like you got months and months to prepare to write 3 rounds. And they can't even do that. The majority of these niggas that they say is good battle rap has been choking lately. Like, continually. Like, battle after battle, you just seeing niggas choking. They can't even get 3 rounds out. And they got months or weeks and weeks to prepare. Just write 3 verses. Like, I could write 3 verses right now, like in one sit down, like in one day. So if you got months and months to do it, what the fuck is you doing? Like, what are you doing? How you go out there and start choking?
Yeah.
But man, this battle rap shit is easy, man. What these niggas doing, this shit is easy, man. This shit is like wrestling, man. What I was doing is like the fucking UFC. Like, niggas was really bleeding and getting knocked out. And that shit is like wrestling. it might got a lot of people watching it. A lot of people is Hulkamaniacs and all that shit. Like, a lot of people, that shit ain't real. It's like y'all ain't really fighting for real. Like that shit is like, it's made up to get a bag, man. Like that's what wrestling did. They knew it was real people that was fighting and getting busy like that in small arenas, so they made that big and brought it to the masses. And that's why I was so lit and generating so much more money.
Yeah.
But I don't like that shit more than real fighting. That's why UFC is gonna keep growing and regular wrestling is gonna keep dying because niggas don't want to keep saying no acting like you act fighting when there's real niggas out here fighting. Why would I want to keep seeing you acting like fighting when there's real niggas fighting now? Like I'd rather see the real niggas fighting. There's real niggas boxing. There's real niggas in UFC. It's real street fighting now. You could pull up on the internet. So why the fuck would I want to watch niggas acting out a play like they fighting? Come on, man. I'm not no fucking kid.
Yeah.
This music shit is. It's for the kids. Niggas that got no understanding about shit. They love it. But once you come to an understanding and get a certain age, it's like, I ain't got time for that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you, I mean, you know, that's one thing, man, like with the whole thing. I feel like they should add the rule to where, man, once you fall off in your rap, it should be the next person turn in battle rap, man. I kind of want to see, you know, just little things like that go down, man. Do you feel like with the Arsenal, like you were saying, you know what I'm saying, with the whole, like with the Hulkamania and all that type of shit, do you feel like the Arsenal battle was kind of one of those type of situations?
You said the Arsenal what?
With the Arsenal battle, do you feel like that was one of those situations where it was just a whole lot of, you know, the crowd is this and, you know, all the antics and all of that? Do you think that was one of those battles where that type of, you know, energy really played an effect in like people's perception of it?
When you talking about people, you got to be specific because there's millions of people in a world that's seen this battle, and it was only a couple thousand there. So it's like when you talking about people perception, it depends. It's some uninformed people that might feel one way, and then there's more informed people that might feel a different way. So it's just all about who perception you talking about. And I'm not there for the crowd. Like I'm there getting the biggest bag, and I worked the biggest crowd out, sold the most tickets, and put up the biggest pay-per-view numbers ever. So I'm not there to just impress the crowd. I'm there to take care of business, and I got certain things to do for certain reasons, and I accomplished that to the fullest. I'm not there to impress Arsenal fans and them and all them battle rappers in the front and all that shit. I'm not there to do that. They don't like me because I be criticizing what these niggas do. But you see, since after that battle rap, after that Arsenal battle, that's why they still keep bringing it up because that's the only thing that was exciting in battle rap. Like Arsenal probably had battles after that nobody talk about. Like after I battled Goods, he had battles after that nobody talk about. Like Disaster had a bunch of battles after me, but every time they bring up me and Disaster, because I'm the energy. I'm the only thing that fucking matter. Like these niggas battle all the time. Win, lose, choke, show up, don't show up, make excuses, don't make excuses. It's like it don't even matter because they're not even a factor. Like I'm the real factor in battle rap. I really matter. So like I don't care what them no niggas think or what no crowd think of anybody. I'm undefeated. And that's why after the battle, I still said it on them niggas. Go on any platform and pull up 5,2-0. That was the record I dropped after I destroyed Goods. And after I destroyed Arsenal, I dropped 100 clip. That's another record that I produced. And it's on all platforms. That's another record, 100 bars that I gave to Arsenal. And I was ready to give up more, but these niggas don't respond because they know they can't fuck with me for real. They know that fairy tale manipulation shit, they could win with that. But when it really come to getting busy with this bar shit, they know they can't fuck with me. So that's the reason why I keep going too. Like I ain't used to this 3-round battle shit. I'm used to like we keep going until like we keep proving who the best. That's what I'm used to.
So wait. So was that the rule before? Like you just rap until you
to no league. I don't gotta listen to Smack or none of these niggas that own the league because I'm not signed to them. I'm not no slave to them like y'all. So after I battle you, if niggas is confused, I'ma keep bombing on you till we get it clear that I'm the fucking best. You know I've been the best. You should have said it from the beginning. And I'ma keep bombing on you until you let it be clear that I'm way better than you. And the right 3 rounds is so easy. That's baby shit. Niggas do that as kids. So when niggas come with 3 rounds and a couple punches, it's like, I'm not impressed, man. There's only a couple niggas that really get busy, like old school style, and really be having a clip full and really be prepared. And there's a few of them. It's not battle rappers that get busy like that.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. If you had to do it your way as far as designing these battles, like I was saying earlier, you know, I feel like once you forget your rhyme, I feel like, you know, it should be the next person's turn. Based on your opinion and your experience in battle, how do you think that the battle should be set up? You know what I'm saying? Because you're not really with it.
When I was battling, that's how it was. You pause, you mumble, you stutter.
You fell off.
I just start rapping again. You don't even get no chance to come back. Like once you stutter or fuck up or pause or break, I start rapping. That's how it go. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the rules that I used to follow. Once you pause or break or do anything, I start rapping again. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if you spit 2 bars. If you pause or you fuck up, then I start rapping again. Like, you know what I'm saying? But nowadays, they let you, first of all, it already be wild breaks with this fake crowd reaction. Niggas act like they so, they playing the crowd. So now they got time to think and they doing their little theatrics to the nigga and to the crowd. But while they doing that, they think that they next line. That's why you seeing in quarantine time, it's a lot harder to perform and be aggressive as these niggas used to be. Because now there's no crowd screaming. You can't stop for 30 minutes and act like the crowd distracting you or act like your man ain't got your water. Now it's quarantine time, so the shit got to keep coming back to back. Niggas want to hear if you can really rap. And now they got to remember the shit and they can't remember it. That's why they so much. It's common sense. I know this because I know the science. The average person don't know. They're going to find out later. It's going to take stuff like this to keep happening for them to understand what I've been saying. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you you had said earlier about the record you produced, man? How long you been producing, man?
On my Bars album, after I got out of jail and recovered from the accident, I started working on a new project. Went out Arizona, and Swizz flew out. And Neo, he was a producer I was working with at the time. He was asleep, so I jumped on Neo MP, and I made my first beat. It actually made the album all by myself. It's a classic. People love it. It's the first beat I produced, and it made the album.
Which record is that?
Oh, I knew. It's by myself. It's on the Bars album.
Yeah.
And even like some of the biggest producers ever, if you listen to their stories about when they made their first beat, people ain't like them. It took them years or times. They just keep practicing to get their shit up. But the first beat I made my album, and people loved it. So that's how I knew I had potential to make beats. But I still ain't take that shit really serious. I still was too locked in a rap. Just like 8 months, a year ago, I started really locking in and going in harder with beats. So I started releasing them. I got music on all platforms. You could pull it up. I just released probably like 11 to 12, 13 new records recently in 2020 that I produced myself and wrote 100% of it. So while I was working, getting better with the beats, I just was putting them out at the same time because I'm not a producer. So for me to be this nice one I'm just starting is already just showing, like, imagine what I'm going to be in 6 more months or another year or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm still the best with this bar shit. It's not like I'm letting up and I'm producing now, so my bars like up. No, I'm still talking that shit with this rap shit, outworking everybody that rap. And I'm going hard with the production shit. Plus, I got a whole production team of niggas that really produce. Like niggas that been producing for 10, 15 years already. And that's all they do. They don't really rap or do anything else. They just produce. Got a whole production team of niggas like that too that get busy. So I just love music. So I just like to do everything that I can do. And that's something I could do a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, you were saying, man, like you said, you know what I'm saying? You the king of this battle shit of these bars, man. In your opinion, who would you say are the top 5 battlers all time, battle rappers?
I don't know. I'm not a fan of battle rappers, but
or MCs.
Some of the biggest battle rappers I would have to say is Murder Mook, Loaded Lux, probably Daylight, and my homie Jag. Jag got a battle coming up at the end of August is for RBE. He battling Mav Hoffa. So I'll put him up in there.
Yeah, yeah. Are there any of those that you would go up against? You haven't battled. I don't think you battled like Daylight or nobody like that, right?
When they offer me the money that I say I want, I let them pick who they want me to battle. So niggas could pick whoever. Like, I don't got no picks. I'm not like, that's like fan stuff. When I want to battle him, like, for what? I'm not a hater, so I don't hate him and want to battle him for a reason. And I'm not a fan, so I don't want to battle him to be next to him. So it's like whoever they want to pick, like, it don't matter to me. Like, so anybody could get it, man. Anybody on that list, any list, anybody could get it with me. I've been like that since a kid, like letting niggas know anybody could get it. It don't matter how old you is, what race you is, like it don't matter what coast you from. Like it don't matter how real you is, how many times you went to jail, how smart you is, if you went to college or not. Like it don't matter. Like anybody, like anybody, man.
Yeah, yeah. So man, so tell me, man, what's next with you, man? Because I mean, I'm waiting to see who's gonna put this money up so we can get another battle in. But in the meantime, what you got going on, man?
Music, man, music. Dropping these singles, dropping this music. I got 2 projects coming this month. So music. Dropping the most music. Like I'm working. So I got these projects coming. I got this video that I'm about to shoot tomorrow. So just working, man.
Yeah, yeah. You still ever link up with Swizz and get any music in?
I don't even know if Swizz working on music right now. You know what Swizz songs out right now? Because everybody asks me that in the interview because they just think because I used to just put out songs with Swizz that I should still be working with him. But it's like I'm super grown. I told you I got my own production company. I was working with Swizz when he was making money off working. Like I was signed to his production company. So it was a business for him to do songs with me and work with me now. But now that I'm an independent machine and he doing his thing, it's not as beneficial for us to work with each other like it used to be. So we still family, we still communicate, but we just not working all the time. I recently released a song with Swizz called Saved by the Children. I just released that not too long ago, but I'm willing to work with Swizz whenever, man. Like, I mean, we started together, so he always could reach out. I'm a workaholic. I told you I'm about to put out 2 projects, 2 whole full projects this month. So I'm a workaholic, but I'm not sure if Swizz is focused on music like that, like I used to be. He got so much other shit going on. I don't know if he's making beats or not.
Yeah, yeah. What about a versus, man? What if there was like a battle rap edition of versus or something like that? Would you participate in something like that?
I got enough records for a versus. I got a big ass records. And I got a lot of hard ass records. But one thing about verses is like these niggas that's jumping on verses, everybody want to ride the wave because it'll get you like more streams. It'll get everybody looking at you. So it seems fun and nobody could really lose. But I'm really willing to battle for real. Like these niggas that be in verses or in battle rap, we could battle for real. Like see who the best with new raps that we wrote. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like see who the best. We could have 20 verses that like, let's go 20 verses for 20 verses with anybody. I'll do that shit with anybody in the world now. So a versus is baby shit. That ain't nothing. You could go on any stream or platform and just play 20 of the top songs and you know what they gonna do. So it's like it's good, it's entertaining, but I don't really look at it as a battle. I look at it as a celebration of the music and the shit you done. And a lot of niggas get work that niggas put in. So when you do verses, you can refresh niggas' memory, or like might be a whole new group of niggas that don't know. And they might be like, oh, that shit hot. They start searching it, looking for it. It's good for that. But you know what I'm saying? I don't look at it like a battle.
Do you have any aspirations of ever getting back into the mainstream system, or you cool where you at as far as being able to make music, being independent, put it out how you want to put it out? You know what I mean? Have the freedom to do all that.
I'm not trying to figure out a solution to get back in the mainstream deal. If I wanted a mainstream deal, I would have signed one. I took one when I was 17, signed another one right back to Swizz. And that's when I was a baby. I ain't know shit. I told you I was just coming from the street, even really know how to make music all the way. And they was throwing millions and millions of dollars around at me. Big machines. So it's not like I'm trying to figure out how to get signed. Like I'm trying to figure out, like I gotta do something.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean that. I just meant, is that like an aspiration? Do you care to be back into the mainstream?
Now, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about to the people that's watching, because it do be people confused like that. Like I gotta switch something or alter something, or I gotta work with this type of producer, or I gotta do this type of flow. They think it's something that you gotta do to get a mainstream deal. Like, nah, I wanted to be independent. Like I wanted this opportunity to be independent and do everything from the muscle, and I want to stay like this.
Yeah, yeah. That's what it is. Let me see if we got some questions. We got any questions in here? We ain't gonna ask that. Let's see. Questions.
I just don't understand how even the top people that's in the industry now complain about contracts, complain about management deals, complain about how they not getting no money, complain about how the companies rob them. I'm talking about the people that's charting right now, that's high now. They all complain. Nobody say they situation lit. The only ones is the ones that's confused fronting in the beginning. But once they really get in the business, nobody happy. Everybody complaining. Even the niggas that's selling the most records, winning awards, and the biggest chains on, they complaining that they getting robbed. Nobody happy with this shit. But soon as niggas talk to niggas with talent, they like, when you gonna get a deal? Or you gonna go back with the majors? Like that's the thing to do. And
right.
I don't fight for nobody. Like even artists that I love from the 70s and the 60s and shit, like they've been telling me that this industry fucked up. I looked at niggas from the 80s. They told me it's fucked up. Niggas from the 90s said, yo, we got robbed. Then the niggas that came around my time, 2000s and shit, yo, this shit ain't shit. This shit is robbery. So why the fuck is niggas so happy to just sign to a major? It's like, man, it's definitely money getting passed around, but you're not making the right amount of money. So you should just figure out why the money getting passed around and just figure out a way to get it on your own instead of relying on these people to just put you in a situation.
Yeah. Nah, I definitely feel that. I feel that.
They understand why they do it. It's a business, and they geniuses for doing it. I ain't not them. I'm just saying, if you understand the business, why would you put yourself in that predicament? Like, I don't knock the 3-car Molly niggas. Like, I was locked up with a 3-car Molly nigga and a nigga that did the tops all in it. And he showed me that them niggas can never lose at that game. You can never beat them niggas. Like, they just playing with your mind. They just gonna always take your money every single time. You never could beat them niggas with 3-car Molly or that top game. That shit is like, is rigged. So I would never play that shit. I would never spend my money with that. But I'm not gonna go past every 3-car Molly and just keep that announcement that you can never win and you can never do that. Like if you want to play. Like, you know what I'm saying? I probably made a mistake in the past when I was a baby. Maybe I played when I was 11 years old or something. Who knows? I'm not gonna blow they shit up. I'm not knocking them. Y'all do what y'all do. But I'm not gonna do it because I know for sure. I knew the fucking I understand the shit. So it's the same thing with the business, man.
Yeah.
Knocking niggas going to go get deals because y'all want to play 3-car Molly. Go ahead, gamble. And sometimes, in order for them to get big money, they might let somebody that's walking around win some small money. Nigga think he won some small money, think he really won. But nah, you ain't really winning though. We really winning. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Tables think. Might give niggas a little small bit of money to make it seem like they win a little bit. Like, you know,
it's a whole lot of money you're not getting though.
People could want to get deals. That's what that. Nobody want to play if they just won every hand. They gotta make it seem like niggas be winning sometime, so people be like, "Oh, I want to bet." Like, you know what I'm saying? Same shit, man.
Yeah. Now, and especially for an artist like yourself, who's already established, following. You got your fan base. Whatever you put out, you can go straight to the consumer. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. These niggas that's in the industry don't even got no access to the people that's buying these shit. They don't even know how to get in contact with them or how to get back with them. So when I was going platinum or when I was going gold or when I was selling all these records, I had no access to people that went in the stores and bought the records. So if I came out with another record, how could I let them know that I was about to drop another record? I would have to rely on going through that same machine, and hopefully everything that we do to them same people when they hear about it.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can have more access to your consumer. You could really get their social media information. You could really get their emails. You could really get the information. And when you're about to drop again, you could send off blast to everybody that bought your shit before so they could want to buy your shit again. So.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, yeah, man, we're going to wrap it up. But before we get out of here, man, like you've accomplished a lot, you know what I'm saying? Made classic, hit records on the mainstream side, classic battles, you know what I'm saying? Still got the bars going to this day, man. What do you want your legacy to be defined as?
The GOAT, the greatest. Nobody could fuck with me with the science, putting bars together and rhyming and never cheating on it. Like you listen back to my old catalog, any point in my career, and you will see I never cheat on the science. You will never hear me rhyming one syllable or doing some remixed ass scheme, some flipped around ass punch that a million niggas use. You will never hear me doing that. Like I never cheat on science. So that's what I want to go down for.
Yeah.
Being the best.
For sure. That's what it is, man. When I got to send you some beats too, bro. I don't know if you know what I'm saying, people, I told you, man, but I produce and shit, man. So I got to get you some beats, man. See if we can get some work in.
Let's do it. shitlitty@gmail. Send it.
Bet. But yeah, man, I appreciate you chopping it up with me, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, man. But I appreciate you, bro.
To the next time.
Bet that.
Easy.